In this lonely ass world, it's getting colder. I'm not going nowhere if I cannot take my boat there. My mind was bred a little different, yeah, from my own past. If I see heat, why the fuck would I wanna go there? Mama, I make you smile. Mama, your little nigga came from wildin'. Mama, always got in trouble, I was shouted. Mama, now I'm staring at shit. Mama, I'm the pilot. Mama, if I want something, I'ma go get it. Mama, swim with the sharks, piranhas, and fishes. Mama, it's so hard down here, God is my witness. Mama, I know where I'm going. Mama, I'm a fan. It's hard not knowing who is really gonna be there for me. I wish you could be here to see me the day I start touring. Shit be on my mind every second when I'm not recording. I'm waking up conversating with the Lord every morning. I mistakenly took the wrong path, I had to rewind. I fumbled trying to move too fast, I had to keep trying. Growing up, I got in trouble, told myself to keep lying. So much stress be building up, swear I be needing me time.
Good morning to the DMV and the rest of the world. Well, today is Wednesday, the day before Turkey Day. Gobble, gobble, gobble. And yes, if those two turkeys come up missing that President Biden pardon, don't feel bad because they're going to be on my dinner table with some cranberry sauce and some dressing. There was some healthy turkeys. 43 pounds and 47 pounds. Oh, yeah, we eating turkey tonight, y'all. We eating turkey. Oh, well, today we're going to talk turkey. We're going to talk trash and all that good stuff because we have the one and only Michelle Pucciarelli is on today with us. And say hi to everybody, Michelle.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Happy hump day. Happy hump day. Thank you. Thank you, Reese, for having me on this morning.
Thank you for being on. And my sweet, sweet Bernice Lady B is still out today. Just send up prayers for her and her family. Hopefully she'll be back soon. Who knows? But in lieu of Miss Bernice being here, we got the new Nene, aka Sexy Rico Suave, Rico the Edutainer, filling in for Nene. And Nene prepared to travel today, y'all. So that's okay. So I got to fill in for the fill in. So hey, we good, y'all. Good morning, Edutainer.
Good morning. Shout out to the Morning Mac Show. And yes, indeed, prayers up for the Queen Bee. It's definitely something where we all have to deal with our health and things of that nature. So prayers up for the Queen. And I'm excited to be here. What's up?
All righty. We're going to dive into it. Man, but before we dive into Michelle, who Michelle is and where she come from and all of that good stuff about Michelle, I have to give you guys a recap of what happened last night at Bar 210. Okay, right. Every Tuesday, if you guys didn't know, we do a thing called Taco Tuesdays, Taco Tequila Tuesdays, however you want to say it. We got $5 margaritas, and if you say my name, you get it free. Okay, so you can get free entry, $5 taco, $5 margaritas every Tuesday off the cuff. Different comedians come out to use that room to exercise in, and what I mean by exercise, try out new material and just to cut up, right? Okay. Last night was going well. Then all of a sudden, in walks this female. I'm gonna show y'all a little bit of the video. She came in off the cuff, just like what y'all about to see. Half the room cleared out, the other half moved to one side. It's chaos. Can we show that? this we trying to have a good comedy club tonight, and the lady coming in. We done called the police, and this is how belligerent people coming in, interrupting the comedy show. We still got 4 more comedians to go. So if anybody know this Burger King worker, please come get her. Somebody, she's live, going live on Facebook. They come and get her.
It's happening. It's happening. Don't worry, we're good.
Sell one Asian girl and y'all straight.
She is harassing she jumped up out of nowhere, just came in and harassing the comedian. Where is the popo at?
All because you couldn't have her away.
You sell a half an acre and get home like you fucked up. You fucked up. Y'all got monopoly.
Call your boyfriend, giving you a ride.
They got your ride.
See, everybody, see all these guys that were comedian waiting to get on stage. But the young lady came in belligerent and messed up the comedy show. And Dale is taking the mic.
Your teeth got to hurt by now.
They is roasting her. It's a comedy show. She interrupted and they roasting her.
I make all the faces questions.
She is hazelnut right now, roasted nice and toasty.
Man, do me a favor, man. Take your uniform off. It's an improper place to be complaining about your Whopper. This ain't no goddamn thing. We don't have no thing with you. We don't have no thing with you. Man, bring your noise down. Man, listen. Can you take you and your attitude out the door? If not, man, listen. We try to have a good time. Listen, I can't talk over top you, so we're gonna have a communicate like this. See, I know you're an animal. I know you're an animal, man. But take that giraffe bodybuilder ass out of here. You look like your body can wait in November. You need to take your country ass back over there to catch your horse or wherever.
People start to watch. Oh shit!
You got one door that you came in.
Okay, here it goes back.
I'm telling you, take your breath. Take your 48 acres in the mule ass looking at Cicely Tyson, nice skin. You take your coat. You need to stop shaking out your mouth, man.
The men are trying to have the show and she's interrupting. She won't leave. She came in out of nowhere and we called the police. Where's the damn police when you need the police? And then if something happened to her, then the men will be wrong. But they standing in front of her to keep her from trying to attack the comedians.
You fired. My cousin is over there. I'm gonna tell my cousin. Fuck you too, and go to McDonald's and fuck them too. You can't work nowhere, man. You can't work at a fast food. Try slow food. So
I know when she sober up and see this later, she ain't gonna be happy how the way she acts. So the way the police, I don't know.
Don't worry about your eyes, don't scare me. Your breath do. It ain't a whole lot of that. Your motherfucker ain't look like you need far away. Fuck yourself. I will hope you had to stand you or shoot me. I'll stay away from you. I'll write my own motherfucker. Huh? What you say, man? I don't look like I'm scared. I'm off red. Motherfucker. I know how to fight from the back. I know how to shoot you. You look like you've been.
That was right after Michelle. We just got really into the show. Michelle did her. Simon did the monologue. The host was Simon Says. He did the monologue. We had people were coming in, and then that popped off, and it was like it took like a good half hour, maybe 20 minutes to get her out when she finally left. Then when the police came, she got arrested and was fighting with them. So she was more than drunk. She didn't even come in drinking. She came in
off work lit.
Just like that. Walked in the door. We was like, whoa, what is this?
They started serving alcohol at Burger King?
And Molly's.
Well, look, she became the big butt of the joke.
I mean, no, the big butt was later on when the stripper got on the stage.
Oh yeah.
My God. It was one of those nights. It was one of those nights.
It was a roller coaster of emotions. We
one of
laughed,
those
we
days.
yelled, we almost cried, we got somebody
We
kicked
got
out.
threatened.
We danced at the end.
She was going to blow up. She was going to blow up our building.
Y'all need some security though, for real. That
We had security. They were standing in front of the comedian, but you know,
that was a little, yeah. That could have popped
she
off.
came in the Burger King uniform. She had no weapon on her. She was the weapon. She had the Burger King uniform. She still had her hat on. She took her hat off, her jacket, her name tag, and still smelling like fresh Whopper.
Like I said, she wanted to have it her way. That's what they do at Burger King.
Exactly.
But today's show, that was just a bit of what happened yesterday. I'm sharing this video because you got to take people seriously. She reminds me of a type that if she had a gun, we would have been dangerous. It would have been another Colorado incident. And see, sometimes we don't never know where a person's mindset is. Mental health is real serious. The guy at Walmart, 6 people got killed. He's the manager. He decided he's going to go in last night and started capping people. I mean, you never know a person's mindset is so dangerous.
It really is. And I don't even understand how people don't want to acknowledge there's like a mental health crisis happening right now. Like it's happening, unfolding right in front of our eyes. And I don't want to bring up his name, but I mean, Kanye West, look what's happening. He acknowledges that he's bipolar and he doesn't want to be medicated. He doesn't want to be treatment, but I'm bipolar. I'm not running around saying, well, Thea knows. I don't say everything that comes out of my mouth because you know what? I was taught if I have nothing nice to say, I don't say it at all. There's no reason to add negativity to an already negative world.
Exactly. Let me introduce you, Michelle. So for those of you who don't know Michelle Pucciarelli, this is my sweetie. I got my own white girl. Hey, we got our own white girl. We always cap and joke like that. You know, she my white girl with good credit. She's going to take me places. She said, hey, out there, you come go with me. I'm like, all right, yay. So, but I love her. That's my sister from a totally different mister.
Oh,
but,
God, yeah. Good Lord. Thank you.
Introduce yourself to the world.
Oh my goodness. Well, good morning, family. Thank you for having me on. I mean, introduce myself to the world. I don't know who I barely am some days. I feel like I'm still figuring it out. And I grew up on Staten Island. I moved down here in good Lord, over 20 years ago now. Good Lord, 2 decades. Seems like a very long time ago. I moved down here for ex-husband number 1. Shocker, you relocate to an area for a man and it doesn't work out. Who didn't see that one coming? And I stayed because I met ex-husband number 2, and I had 3 daughters that you know I love, and that's the reason why I'm staying in the DMV area, because, you know, this is home now. You know, Maryland to me now is home. I relocated here with my sister, moved down here a few years ago. So I am a catch. I am a divorced mom who lives with her sister and our 4 cats. And I do actually, comedy is something that I recently found as my passion. And it was because of my therapist. My therapist and I talk about everything. And one day she put this question out to me because I was telling her this was something I always wanted to try, but I'm worrying about bombing. I'm worrying about booing. I'm worrying about people running on stage and maybe smacking me, not in the face, you know, and possibly in other areas, because I feel like right now my face is my moneymaker, so we got to protect that. But she asked me this question, and I also am an alcoholic, so she had said to me, Michelle, you were able to spend 2 years in AA and spill your guts on the floor and talk about everything and be vulnerable. She's like, you decided to enter into a lifestyle that most people fantasize about, and you've been to sex parties, you've run around in a nudist resort. You mean to tell me you can't stay on stage for 5 minutes and talk with your clothes on to a bunch of people? And I'm like, oh, why am I paying you and torturing myself once a week? And on that challenge, I decided to find a list. I had a friend who was also in AA who was doing open mics. And I'm like, hey, can you send me something? And I signed up. I got waitlisted. I went anyway down to this open mic in Woodbridge at the Electric Palm. It's hosted by this gentleman who is a funny man. He is a funny man for a white guy. His name happens to be Dwayne White. But I went unprepared and I was waitlisted, and I wound up seeing someone else who was in AA. And he's like, hey, what are you doing here? And I'm like, hey, I was going to try out, but I was going to go on, but I got waitlisted. I thought I'd come anyway. And the gentleman that was hosting that night, this guy, Vinny, he's like, hey, I'll put your name on the list. And I'm like, uh-oh. And lo and behold, I went on, just did my thing. And what solidified it and what really got me was like, I got to do this, was one, it felt natural and right being on there. I've done a lot of crazy things in my life. And I have to say, I acknowledge now I love being the center of attention. I know I'm an attention whore. I know I seek it out. And I love making people laugh, and either laugh at me or with me. If I feel you really are someone who enjoys comedy, you'll get a laugh. If I have to deprecate myself to get you to laugh and give you a few minutes of joy, great, I'll do it. You know what I mean?
Michelle, you are totally nuts. You crazy. I ain't deprecate nothing. But for those who didn't catch it, she also said her lifestyle. So she's a comedian. She's a career lady, first of all. She has a career, a regular 9 to 5. She's part-time comedian, because that's her other side. But she has another side of her, and they call it the lifestyle. Where I come from, we call it Hollywood swinging. But Michelle, explain that to the viewers who don't understand.
Oh
She's
my,
y'all. So I'm not digging. I'm not trying. Michelle will tell you.
I will. Thank you, Alfie. And I'll be honest, and I'll also answer Slicky's question, which was, he saw me drunk a couple of weeks ago, which is true. I fell off the wagon. I did. I fell off the wagon. I am now back on the wagon, and it's been about 16, 17 days since I've been without a drink. And basically how I fell into the lifestyle is caught up with getting sober. Because at the time that I was getting sober, I was seeing someone. I was in a monogamous relationship with someone. And when I was 8 months sober, he decided to tell me that everything I did when I was drinking, he couldn't forgive or forget. And even though I was doing the work, even though I embraced AA, I threw myself in. I was going to be a meeting. I heard the slogan, meeting makers make it. And I'm like, I'm in. And I was going to meetings every day, and I was working with my first sponsor. And when he dumped me, I was like, I looked at her and I was like, what the hell? What is this about? I thought, I'm not drinking and da-da-da-da-da. And she's like, sometimes in life, you just got to shake things up. You got to shake things up, and, you're only going to change if you change your way of thinking. If you go about life approaching the same problems the same way, that's the definition of insanity. So I took an honest look at my dating life from when I going back to high school. And I was just thinking, I'm like, maybe I need to shake up how I approach relationships. And when I started looking at all my relationships that I've had through high school, I'm glad everybody's sitting down this morning, because when I went back and looked at all the relationships, it wasn't the men or boys that I was seeing that was the cheater. It was me. I was unfaithful, and I couldn't figure out why. So that is when I decided, when I was going on to the dating apps now, I started looking at all the people, all the weird who have these other weird ways of describing what they're looking for, like ENM, which is ethically non-monogamous, or open relationships, or polyamorous, or looking for a third for our throuple. And I'm like, what the hell is what is this? I don't understand what it is. So I decided to start swiping on these people and asking questions and saying, how does this work? I mean, what jealousy was the first thing that popped into my mind, because like I said, I like being the center of attention, and I like knowing that, a man is thinking about me. But when you're in a relationship with other people, how does that work? And lo and behold, I found out that there are, believe it or not, married couples in the lifestyle that seek out a third. And I'm a bi woman. So now what? My dating pool has just opened up because it's a win-win for me. I don't have to be the side chick to the man. I don't have to be the side chick to the woman. They're going to get it. They are in this together. And believe it or not, I've been doing this now since 2017. I've evolved to where now I have relationships where I have friends, lovers, and I have some people that now are my family, that when I had a seizure and I was down, they came to my rescue. They helped me move. They brought their son, his friends. And it's mind-blowing to think what you see in porn and what you see in Hollywood and what's portrayed. Like it's just an orgy and a free-for-all and a fest. And okay, once we've said hello and maybe we've had a couple of drinks and played a couple of games and relaxed, then games begin. But it's a circle, it's a community of people that are living life a little differently, but they're going about it in a way where we're putting out there who we are. This is who we are. I do warn people when, and even men who approach me on the outside who may not. And again, I'm not going to hide that I am a woman who loves many. I am a woman who, honestly, my gym is the bedroom. People go to the gym to work out, to relieve stress. I go to the bedroom to relieve stress. Sex is a stress relief for me. And again, when you're in the lifestyle, like when you're jumping out of planes, there's a risk that you're going to get hurt. When you're having sex with other people, there's a risk. You're putting yourself in a vulnerable situation. So this is the nice thing about being in a lifestyle with a community of people, Reese, is that we talk about it. We bring condoms and things to the parties. When you're at a party and you're meeting people now, you're discussing with these people what's allowable, what are our boundaries, what's off limits, what can be done in the bedroom, what's off. And again, it's not there are certain parties that what you're stepping into. Let's say like a gangbang. You know what's going to be. Do I go to those parties? No. Have I seen those parties? Yes. Would I? Again, am I going to yuck on somebody else's yum? No, because we're learning. There's the LGBTQD alphabet soup community. We've learned that sexuality is a spectrum. Everybody has their own taste, their own style, what feels good, what they like, what they don't like, and again, who am I to judge somebody else if they like to lick somebody else's feet? Feet people are weird, by the way. I'm just going to put it out there. But again, if that's what they like and if that's what brings their heart joy, it's not hurting me because they're not licking my feet because I said, no, thank you. I appreciate the offer. Sounds lovely, but no, I don't need you to lick my feet today. I have a dog that runs by and does that every once in a while.
Wow. Michelle, you are a plethora of interests, just different. A little weird to some, a little numb, yum to some. It's just, woo, girl, you just a big ball of stuff.
You're not in the closet,
that's all I can say.
You're not in the closet.
Now, I want to ask you a question. Well, Rico, do you have a question to ask Michelle?
Well, no, I was just basically commending her on not being in denial or delusional about where she wants to go with her situation. It sounds like she's done inventory on her what she does it for, and she's found her why she likes to do it now.
Enjoy yourself, but baby, definitely be safe, and not just safe sexually, but safe mentally, because there's a lot of crazy people out there, as we all know. So definitely be careful when you letting your freak flag fly. But my question is one, we talked a bit about it yesterday. We were on a discussion, you guys. I asked Michelle, has she ever felt like she wanted to be Black? Because she's attracted, she said, to Black men. And I wanted to know, well, when did that happen? And do you have any Black female friends that's just like, regular girlfriends? She was saying that the only Black people that she knew before she went to camp and met the Black boy that she crushed on was on TV people. So she didn't grow up around us. She was in a tight-knit community. So I asked her what made her want to float to the other side or go outside her race to look for companionship, fun, and friendship and all of that. And Michelle, tell them what you told me yesterday.
I mean, it was a lot. TV. I was influenced a lot on what I saw on TV. And I was also influenced a lot by my parents. I grew up on Staten Island in basically a working class Italian white community. While we all love Wu-Tang Clan, if somebody, who popped into the neighborhood who looked different from us, are you lost? That was kind of, but again, in my mind, I'm like, what the hell? You're listening to Wu-Tang Clan, you love the music, but this is how we're going to treat someone? Really? So in my mind, I started listening to the more music, and summer camp is what kicked it off, is because for the first time I heard Slick Rick, A Children's Story, and I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. And the guy that I met at camp, Raheem, he was the one who introduced me, and I'm like, this is great. And then again, I started watching MTV Raps. I saw Salt and Pepper. I was like, I wish I could move like that. I wish I could dance like that. This is look how much fun everybody. Look at House Party. Look how much fun Kid and Play was having. Oh my God, this is amazing. And here I am in my world where it's a lot of 80s, 90s, Staten Island, Guidos. Yeah, it was different. And again, it looked fun and welcoming. And I'm not saying that how I grew up wasn't, but it just when you fit, you feel like a square peg in a round hole. That's really how I felt a lot of the time, growing up. I didn't look how I look now. I might have had some work done. I'm gonna admit it. When I was younger and a teenager in high school, I was the duff. Althea doesn't believe me, but I was not. I was the dumb, ugly, fat friend. I was the girl that the guys would come up to because they felt comfortable talking to me and would ask me about my friends.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow. So, but you still didn't make any bond with any Black female, because usually when you look at the Black guys and wanted to date Black guys, at some point did you wanted to hang out? It was just attraction to the men.
Yeah, and it was my cousin Michael who went to a private boys' school in Queens, high school. That again, it was. His school was more predominantly Black, whereas my school, high school that I went to, we had, I think 1, 2, that was it. I mean, so when I went there, and again, the dances were fun because they were playing the music that I liked. All the guys, when I'd walk in, I was the dumb, ugly, fat friend on Staten Island. But when I went to the dances in the Bronx with my cousin, all of a sudden I'm getting I felt, I'm going to say it, I felt validated. I was like, oh, so maybe there's nothing, guys like me, but then I'd go home and I'm like, they'd be like, ugh. So I'm like, what? It was a very confusing time.
So what I hear you saying is that in your community, they called you the duff, the dumb, ugly, fat friend. But then in the Afro-American or Latino community, when you crossed over, you was the hot mama. So you went from the duff over here to being a sex symbol over there. Is that am I right? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works. And I can even tell you I'm also on so there's a site I told Althea about it called FetLife. And FetLife is basically, you would think of it as maybe a MySpace, Facebook for people who are in the kink lifestyle BDSM community. And it's it's basically people just exposing that other side that you see in the bedroom. And they also put up like events and stuff. So if you want to go to an event, like they call their happy hours munches. So Althea, if you want to go to a munch, I'll take it to a munch.
I'm on a diet. You know, I mean, it's
sorry. No, but again, so again, when you're single and dating and you know your appetite in the bedroom is different than what you can find on OkCupid, you know, what? Definitely not Christian Mingle. Definitely not Farmers Only.
I don't know, because Christian Mingle, there's not a lot of, look, Christian Mingle, I've been on that date site and there was more heathens on Christian Mingle. I'm like, why? You know, they ask you they ask you questions and send you all kind of D-pics. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. I was like, do God know you're doing this? Do God know you just sent me this? You open up your DM and DM don't stand for dick mail. DM for direct messaging.
They trying to bless.
You know what's funny?
Was on Christian Mingle.
It is funny. Let's acknowledge one thing about Christian Mingle and being Christian. I mean, I grew up Catholic. And the only way we are all still here and how we keep going is that we have to have sex in order to keep the people coming back to creating little followers for that religion. You know what I mean? So I don't understand why people look at it as like an icky thing when in reality, I mean, you're looking for that. I mean, I think we all want love and that intimacy and connection. Sex is different for everyone. You know, some people don't need to be in the bedroom to be sexually satisfied. Some people just like being touched. That's all they're looking for.
Wow.
There's a little something out there for everybody, is what you're telling me. I see.
Yes.
Wow.
Gotta know what you
Go ahead, Rico, talk, because I gotta process all of this stuff. You know,
it sounds like it's a value menu of things, a plethora of possibilities, and you must know yourself. Knowledge of self is what it is, because there's a lot of people that's in denial, a lot of people that have a lot of sexual hangups, and basically, religion has put a lot of folks in places where they're leading that double life, and I've seen that from looking at the Aretha Franklin documentary to different growing up in the church, and then seeing folks always talk about the double life that they see of Christians or whomever they might see that's dealing with the battle of their spirit as well as their food. And if you don't know your dark side, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be out here, getting in a lot of trouble. So the more that you know yourself and know what you want, the better that you're gonna operate in your own life and what works for you.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think you can be a spiritual and sexual person when you think about it, because in my mind, Jesus is love. I mean, Jesus walked around this earth, loving everybody, even his enemies. And, the story, it's a controversial thing, but even I bought a book about Mary Magdalene because I always, heard the 13th apostle. She was there, at the resurrection. Who is this woman? She was a woman who loved many. And Jesus still loved her. So in my mind, the Virgin Mary allowed whatever spirit being to give her a son that she was going to love unconditionally in a time when probably women were not looked on kindly for having a child out of wedlock.
Yep.
So again, Sex got Mary into a bad situation, but her love for her child helped send a loving message out into the world.
Out of the whole situation, love does
Yeah.
win. I have a question for you. You say you're a bi woman, so we know that when you basically started seeing in the Bronx, like you said, you started stepping out to other spots, and you found that you were getting valued and love from other cultures. How did the situation come where you had an eye for the ladies? How did that come about?
Well, I mean, it was when I was like a teen, when I was in high school, I was like in junior high, I was always like I always liked Playboy, and I was like, ooh, and again, I would get excited. Sorry, I'm getting TMI, but I would get excited, ooh, wow, ooh, she's hot. And then when I was in a sophomore year, I hung out with my sister, who's 7 years older than I am, and she had a friend named Chris, who full name was Krista, who looked like a dude but was a girl. And her and I just started talking, and and one thing led to another, and lo and behold, my first experience with a woman. And after that, of course, like through college, I messed around a little bit, and then wasn't really more. I mean, once I kind of got into like my early 20s, I always kind of leaned more towards men, because at that point, then I'm like, I'm getting older. I gotta meet the man, settle down, get married, get the house, have the kids, do the thing. And I was married for 13 years, and in that time I was not a good wife. I was an alcoholic. I drank in a way that I exposed my children to things that they probably shouldn't have seen. Now I will take it. I mean, I'm not going to be Mother of the Year anytime soon. And I've been reading Reese's book, and I'm like, oh my God, I love you. I've talked to Reese when I started reading her book. I'm like, you're an amazing woman. I'm like, oh my God. Again, it's just like for certain things, I'm like, I don't understand why people do get caught up on the idea of sex. Sex and love are two different things in my head. I've separated it out. I've taken it out where sex it can be an act for some people. For certain people, it's how you show love. But let's be adults. And again, Reese has shared information about her. But as adults, when you're a single mother who works and is juggling things, and you have other stresses, and you want a companion, but I don't have the bandwidth, the emotional energy to get caught up in a relationship, but hey, I need a friend with benefits. I'm going to be honest about what I'm looking for, because I'm the type of woman that likes physical intimacy. That is my stress relief. Yeah, I can do it by myself, but it gets lonely after a while. Sometimes you just want somebody to cuddle with, somebody to give you a hug. When you're having a bad day and you feel the weight of the world on you, you want to walk up to somebody, put your head on their shoulder, and have them just pat you and go, you know what? It's going to be okay.
Yes. Yeah, I totally get that and feel that, and you're right. It does. I don't know for you guys, the men, I would assume that it's the same thing for men, Rico. Sometimes you just want a hug. You just want that comfort. Sometimes I want to cry because I feel like I have nobody there that can grab you and hold you and be like, girl, it's okay. It's all right. So I totally get that part, and that much is needed. That's just being human. Mm-hmm. I think, gay, straight, bi, wherever you are, that's human. And every living creature want affection, a dog, a cat. So it's natural for us to want that and need that affection. Rico, what say you?
I say that it is first to love yourself. Like you said, basically having accountability for what makes you happy. You have to be accountable for what fills up your love tank. And sometimes you can put yourself out there because of a lack of it. And like you said, you basically can make soul ties so much with certain people. And by the time you get a good understanding that what you are doing is okay. It's just the way that you're going about it. That's why, knowledge of self is so good. Over these years of her experience, at least I see her learning, and at least the position in her now, she accepts herself. She can look herself in the mirror. It's not the guilt hangover. Oh, I just went out and did X, Y, and Z. It sounds like she loves herself and probably is in her on a road to like I said, peace that only can come from within once you know what it is that makes you tick. And we all do want closeness. I mean, people have pets. People have other things outside of just human interaction that brings them some type of things. But it's nothing like a good hug from somebody that does value you. And I appreciate that I have love in my life. My daughter, a hug from my daughter puts me on a whole another plateau. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I come from a family that does hug. The fellas, how we dap up at the barbershop. We basically all have our forms of needing to feel love and give love. So, definitely love wins.
Wow. Hey, Molly, if you will, because, my eyesight is a little fading. Do we have questions or comments for Michelle? I see stuff on the other side. I see Latrice saying exactly. And Butterman said, find your inner strength, find your inner strength, leaning on a person, don't change the problem. Mm-hmm. Well, leaning on a person don't change the problem, but it make it more copable. It don't. Of course, it don't change it, but you can gather strength from each other. Mm-hmm. Like you going through a situation, and I got Rico and Nene and Molly and Michelle holding on to me to say, "Girl, it's gonna be okay." It gives you the strength to dig in you and fix that problem. So definitely we do need to lean on so you don't fall all the way. If I didn't have nobody to lean on, I probably would fall off all the way. And like Michelle, I tell her, lean on me. If you want to take a drink or whatever, take it one day at a time. You have friends you can lean on. Maybe if she didn't have nobody, she wouldn't even want to stop to get herself better. Sometimes when you have nobody, people don't think life is worth living. That's why we always say it, or be there for somebody if it's worth saying. That goes all the way back to mental health.
Yeah.
We all need one another.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm sorry, Rico, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was saying, that's the thing with being in recovery, being sober, being an alcoholic, or having an addiction. I kind of came to the realization that I do have a disease, and it could be the equivalent of cancer. And when I'm sober, I'm in remission. By the grace of God, I'm in remission. And when I take a drink again, guess what? I have cancer again. So again, you have to go through the process. You have to go through the steps. And the one thing that I think that has allowed me, aside from having Reese in my life and my sister and my boyfriend and all these people, is just being able to talk about it and just being able to forgive myself for saying, you know what? I was almost sober for 5 years, but those years that came before that aren't gone, because that's where I learn. That's when I grow. Like my sobriety date that I have tattooed on my arm is not worthless, because that's the day I decided to change my life. So I don't know. So we can go back to the questions. I'm done now.
I like to definitely commend you on that, because you have a group. Yes, indeed. You have a group that basically needs to be around you too, because you can't hang with skunks and not stick like them. So did you have to change up, some of the folks that you were running with, and basically, how did you have that? Where did you get that discipline to stay with your sobriety? I seem like you got your purpose, but
Well, I'm gonna be honest. This is not, and I don't recommend doing this now. I've learned something. I was staying sober despite my ex-husband. And I don't recommend staying sober despite someone. There's, won't go into details, but there is animosity there. And I couldn't let go of some of that. And I need to, because I can't change anything that has happened in my past. And all I can do now, and even like through your words, when you've hurt somebody a lot, even your words at some point are meaningless. So now it's kind of like, I got to let the negativity, the animosity go. I have to forgive. And I have to accept that love, life will work itself out. I have to love myself. I have to take care of myself. And I have to accept that I have an allergy to something that everybody else, that a lot of people can enjoy. But it's not worth to me to suffer the allergic reaction every time I have a drink.
Good way of putting it.
Now that you, Molly.
Yeah.
What are the people saying on the side?
Larry says it's hard to date in the lifestyle.
Woo! Well, yeah. Yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, it has its advantages because, again, you're going in being, I'm going to use the word, raw about who you are and what you want, and you hope you get the same thing in return. But I can say I have had experiences where, and this is a fun one. This is a fun story I'm going to tell real quick. There was a gentleman I was seeing. I met him during COVID. We were FaceTiming one another. Met him on OkCupid. And on OkCupid, I sort men out by height. So by 5'10" and higher is my criteria. But I've opened up now. I'm not a heightist. I love all now. But
okay.
But we wound up seeing each other for a few months. Again, he wound up being in the lifestyle. We did a lot of what people would say freaky shit together. But one day, a year ago, as a matter of fact, we're approaching on Thanksgiving. I just got home. I popped an edible. I'm going to relax and decorate some Christmas cookies with my sister and my best friend. And my phone starts ringing, and it's him, but it's like the email iPad address. So I answer, and it opens, and I just see the room. Nothing. I hang up, text him. Did you butt dial me? No, I'll explain later. Okay. Few minutes, and a little bit later, rings again. I'm feeling a little relaxed because the edible is hitting. Answer the phone, and I see a very angry blonde woman looking back at me, asking me, "Are you fucking my boyfriend?" Sorry for dropping the F word. And at this point, all I can do is, and I hang up, and then I text him WTF. So apparently, while he and I were very open, this guy, I don't know if he loved women. We were both on dating apps, scrolling through, and we were playing around with people, and I'd see who he was swiping on, he'd see who I was swiping on. But every once in a while, he would get to this woman who said what she was looking for, which was a more traditional relationship, but for whatever reason, he would still swipe. That's setting yourself up for failure. Well, this woman apparently thought she was the only woman, and I knew we were in the lifestyle. So again, I said to him, I was accepting you for who you are. I said very clearly, I have enough drama in my life. I don't want any more. You just invited drama into my life. And after this, she's emailing me, telling me she's going to take me out. I mean, I was just like, why are you mad at me when he was the one that, yes, I was sleeping with him and doing all these dirty things that you probably didn't want to do. But why are you mad at me and telling me that you're going to take me out when he lied to the both of us? Can somebody explain why women do this to one another? So I may have been the other woman, but I didn't know about you either.
Right, I think women attack each other because they don't want to. They need to blame the onus of the men, but they don't do it. They feel it's easier to go at the woman instead of really addressing the problem. And the problem is you and that male. It isn't the other woman. You know, like I had a similar situation when the lady called me to drop a dime. I dated somebody for a year as well, you know, and she revealed a baby, and she told me that, oh, we're gonna talk about this. I said, I don't have nothing to say. Talk to the man. She kept calling me. No, I'm gonna talk to you. Why?
Why? Because you know your man's
her.
gonna lie to you anyway. You know that your
Exactly.
man is lying to you, so you're calling me to give you the truth. He should be telling you the truth, not me.
Exactly. And I had to tell her I was going to take her out. You know, I had to switch it up. Look, if you don't stop calling me, she was like, you're going to talk to me, woman to woman. I said, I can't because I'm a man. And then she stopped calling me. I told her, I'm like, let him dig his way out of that. Your man on the DL, even though it was a lie, but let that marinate in her spirit, in her soul. You know, she interrupted my evening. Well, how about that?
Yeah.
You know, but he called right back, said she lying, she crazy. Reese, I want to talk to you. I ended that relationship because you lied. Drama. You first of all, your relationship start off as friendship before, you know. And I told him I don't need no drama. Yes. I don't need no extra nothing. You know, because if the relationship part don't work, you go back to being friends. Amen. But when you lie and you take that element out, I don't need that. I don't have no use for you because you can't control your bitches.
Yeah. I have a question for y'all. I have a question for you guys. Given that you say you start off as friends, and I've been in and I've watched other relationships. Do you find that when people in a relationship are having like problems, they treat their friends better than they treat their partners? So again, like in my mind, like why wouldn't you want to start off as friends? You know, I get very like I start like having like a nervous twitch when someone who's just met me or we've been, you know, in the bedroom a couple of times and it's like, I think we should like be in a relationship. And I'm like, what? Huh? No.
Sometimes I think men are greedy and just want to take us off the shelf. Because I'm like, if you're going to play, I'm going to play. Let me know. But I think men try to use that. Oh, we're in a relationship, so you won't go out there and meet nobody else.
Hold up. I hear you, Reese. I hear you. But it's a lot of brothers that's the same way that she's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Usually
guys, we're going to time. He was a Ringo player pro.
Huh? Yo, honestly, working in the unisex salon for 25 years, I've seen it now change to where the women are speaking just like the sister here. And they're like, what? Relationship? What? Who? What? I'm allergic to that. And now
he's allergic to the lies, the bullshit that come with it.
I'm like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm really just, you know, I'm a simple man. I just really want a relationship. I don't need all this, that, third. So society is changing. You got men that was like, you know, constantly being the ones that's fighting and going to jail and go. Now it's the women that's cutting up and doing a lot of situations. So it's a lot of changes. More things change, more they stay the same. So it is what it is. You gotta know what you're dealing with out here.
Yeah, y'all can't be naive. I hear a lot of stories, you know, about two, you know, women fighting over men, but don't act like we don't know men killing other men over a woman. There's a lot of women out here who cheating on their boyfriend, and there's two guys out here going to war. They ain't out here trying to pull up and swing, and they trying to kill each other. So I look at it on both sides. It's just people out here that just can't be honest. That's why I like Michelle. She honest. She out like, this who I am. You either going to accept it or you not. You got some people out here, they won't be honest with who they are. If you like more than one partner, then be free. Don't tie this person down and that person down and telling everybody you love me. But it go both ways though.
Preach, Molly. That's
100%.
He 100% right. Molly, give yourself a round of applause, baby.
Round of applause.
That's a round of applause. Yes. Yeah, so, you know, and if everybody was, you know, relationship would be much, much easier. But you got some selfish people, men and women, that were like, no, this, no, that. I'm gonna have this and eat it too. I'm gonna have my cake and eat it too. Well, if you want to go out there and eat cake and eat ice cream, then don't commit. Don't get no a la mode. Don't say, just don't. Just eat your cake and eat your ice cream. Eat your cake. Don't box that in and say I want a relationship, because you really don't. Just like you said, a lot of people can't be honest. I'm trying to figure out why we can't be more honest. Is it because of quote unquote society stereotype? Say that you got to do this, you got to do that. A woman got to do this, a man got to do that. Why?
We've been conditioned. We've been raised by certain Christian families. We've been raised by certain, like you said, hers is Catholic. You know, somebody else might be Israelite, Muslim. So they're raised in a lot of situations where they've learned almost for years of their life. Then they have to spend the next 20 unlearning it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You just I might be down with FWB. What's that? Fuck
Friends with benefits.
Friends. Oh, that's what that for. Friends. I was about to say.
I said fuck with buddy.
I was about to say fuck white boy. That's
that one. That'll be the adult version. I'm gonna use that, Marley.
FWB.
You know, that's I didn't know what that. You know, I didn't know what that means either.
I think it's conditioned. A lot of people they think it's a certain way you're supposed to date, certain way you're supposed to be a man or woman, and I just think it's smart. Like whoever controlling the masters or not, they got people really reading a book saying, you know, you should get married and do this before you do this and do that. You know, and Michelle said it clearly. For the world to keep going, we gotta have sex. You know, I'm pretty sure it was a time animals not actually walking down the aisle, like they reproduce and they keep going and going. It's just us. We condition. We the smartest animals out here, but for some reason we easily control and manipulate it. Like we really got people writing a book from thousands of years ago saying this how you should live your life. This how sex should go. This, and they probably weren't even doing half of the position and things we doing today. They'd be looking at us like, what in the world is going on today? We videotaping. They can go on phones and get access to these things. It's just weird that you can really put in a book that God said something, you know, and that's all you got to do. If you say God said this or God don't like, that's how you get people to do a certain thing and move a certain way. I just don't think that God spoke to anybody. We know what's right. We know what's wrong. And it's crazy that animals somehow can live a great life, a full life. Some of them die early, but at the end of the day, they doing it with no instructions. They doing straight off spirit, you know. So I'm like, it was a time we ain't had these books and we was living life and we was reproducing and everything. We was having kids, taking care. We was able to somehow survive. But now we actually been controlled, and that's why everybody being the same, doing the same thing, liking the same people, hating the same people. You know, we just gotta get out of that.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. You know, for whatever reason, you know, so, you know, and I've dated white people before, white guys before, but I don't know. I just still, I feel like a brother gets me, my own gets me better because we went through the struggle together. Although, like, see, Michelle, this is what I heard you also say. You didn't go in to befriend them. You went in there on the sexual attraction that got you across the color line. So you wasn't bleeding in the color line saying, hey, sister, I want to know about your culture. Hey, let's be friends. You were bleeding on the color line. You like, ooh, look at Molly and Rico. Hot damn.
My first crush, when my mom was getting mad that I was listening to rap music and she told me she brought the wrong baby home from the hospital, I decided to put a poster of my first crush that I had, which was Shaquille O'Neal, on the wall. And I'm like, go big or go home.
Wow. Did you not get the biggest and blackest? You got the Mandingo on the wall, and that drove your plantation mama crazy.
Man.
Damn.
She might have been looking at it too, though. She might have been fighting with her desire to get dunked on by Shaquille, though. She might have been in denial. You know what I'm saying?
It really, as I've gotten older, it really makes me. I really have wondered. Some of the things my mother is just like so averse to is like, are you repressing what you're actually desiring? And it's like. And that's kind of like how I've kind of like evolved into where I've evolved, because I'm just like, why am I not? What? Because if I enjoy it, but somebody else doesn't, I mean, that just means they don't like it. It's not for them. So why does it make me dirty and wrong? It doesn't. By whose standard? Because we've gotten to the point. What's normal anymore?
I'm weird. I couldn't tell you what normal is. I'll be the first one to say that I don't fit anybody mold of how you supposed to be, because everybody say I was always outside of the box. And maybe that's why I'm a comedian too. Because we find the most painful shit and laugh about it. What was Butterman saying? Why do comedian what's that?
Why do comedians like DJs?
Like DJs. Is that supposed to be for dirty jokes? Is that DJ? Do they stand for something? Or you talking about DJs?
Nah.
Like you talking about swag?
She's talking about. I think he's talking about DJ Swag, Reese.
Will you tell them that Swag like me, Michelle?
He does. He was after her. You should have seen her on Monday night. The other host, Latif, wanted her too. I can't take her anywhere.
We raffling Reese off anyway. We doing a raffle.
Wait a minute. You saying too much now. You saying too much. They gonna come back. Oh, who's this? Oh, who's that? It's bad enough DJ Slicky Woo Boo think I'm out in the backyard. I'm like,
tell mama, Slicky, tell mama.
Slicky always say, look at sis out in the backyard. You think I'm booty. But Molly, my brother, was talking to me last night, and he was like, you know what, Reese, if you want to get out there and let your freak flag fly, go ahead. Because I was like, I don't want to get hurt no more. I don't want a relationship because I'm tired of the jokers lying on me. It's been over a year since I've been in a relationship or even intimate. But I do get those feelings and urges. But I was like, I don't want the BS that come along with it. I don't want all the games. Yeah, I'm allergic to shit, to BS. I'm allergic to that, and I got so much going on in my life. I really don't need that extra drama with females calling me or when I need you, a shoulder to lean on, or cry on, or when I need that time for you to just hug me, not even sexually. You over there doing whatever. I need some realness. Mm-hmm. So I kind of, keep myself to myself, and I'm waiting to unleash the Kraken for the right one. That's all I'm doing.
I believe it's going to happen for you, Reese, very, very soon.
It's going to happen.
I do too.
I'm about to bust one way or another. I got all this energy. I feel like the Hulk. I'm trying to. David Banner.
It's gonna happen. I'm dragging her out to open mics with me. She's my ride or die now. So when I have a show, I'm like, hey, I'll come pick you up. We're only 8 minutes away. You want to come out with me tonight?
Can't run too long, Reese. Can't run too long.
We do the open mics to exercise and work out, but congratulations to my girl. Kudos on December the 1st. Tell them what you got, Michelle.
December 1st, I will be performing at the DC Comedy Loft at a show called, the show is called Yes Queen, and it's a female show with lots of other very funny female comedians, and I'm super excited, and I may make people call me a queen after the show. I may just
and this is not open mic. This is a gig.
This is a gig. Yeah, this is a gig. Yeah, and then I got a second one. Yep, second one's December 16th in Chambersburg. That's with Chad Beadle, the Make Me Laugh comedy tour. And I believe I'm gonna be opening up, so I'll be getting everybody warmed up and ready to laugh.
And I plan to be right there to say Chad Beadle, because Michelle already told me, like, we could go on tour, Chad. We could go on, Michelle's like, we could go on tour, Chad.
She's coming with me. So like I said, this is my other half. So wherever I go now, he is coming with me.
This is the sensible half. Like last night when that violence was unfolding, Michelle was like, should I go and say something to the girl? I said, hell no. Them guys got it back. You would have took your butt over there. Listen, lady, I think you should leave. She'd have been like,
oh, I knew I didn't want to see. I knew I was going to be gasoline on the fire. Because I'm 99% certain if I inserted myself, she was going to come after me. And then all the guys that are phenomenal there were going to feel like they had to jump in to stop her. So I was like, that was not the answer. You got to know when to insert yourself and when to kind of step back and let other people handle it.
That's the good thing of having a homie of ebony hue, because they will give you the ebony hue thing to do and not the white thing to do, and that would have been the wrong thing to do. hey, you know, you picking it up now. You getting hip.
Yeah, I didn't want to be like the parent. Excuse me, excuse me. Should we be talking like this in here? No, you need to go home now.
That's totally unacceptable in that type of environment. Totally unacceptable.
Yeah, that was definitely. And then at the end of the night, the stripping was unacceptable too. That was like off-putting. But it's okay. It's okay. You know.
Let that girl strip, man. What are you talking about?
Look, the girl, she was a little plump, little fish. She like a little leprechaun, little belly. She was bending over, twerking, and I was like, you came outside in the middle when with a leotard and some coochie cutters and some fishnet. I was like, that was her outfit for the club.
It was cold last night too.
It was cold as I don't know what, but she came out like it was 100 degrees. And I'm scratching my head, and she must have been on some stuff too. Because they was just joking. They was talking about her legs. They said she had some pretty legs. And they was like, well, what time did they open? Honey, she got up on stage and busted. I was like, now you know.
That's how you do it.
They're open now.
That's how you do it. Open. Twerk, twerk, twerk.
And she was a
Lizzo.
Everybody
gave me 10 million reviews and said she's so confident in herself.
She was so confident in herself.
Exactly. So
you know, see, y'all ain't ready for me because I would get up there in my Depends. I would get up there in the diaper and swing. They took the pole down.
I'm ready for them to put it back up. I'm gonna.
Pole no more. They took it down. It was like Reese came in and swung, put her leg around the pole. If that joker was 30, they would have really seen something.
Auction start this week. Auction start.
Wait a minute. You are on the auction block. We're going to Molly auction. We're going to auction Molly. And Rico. Yeah, those gonna be. We're gonna put them on the auction block. You know, so we can create revenue, source of revenue coming in. There's a lot of lonely women that would pay for a handsome black man. You know it, Michelle.
Yeah, I do know this.
You know, we'll get the hookup. You know, this is going to be HR. We're going to look up there. Okay, he goes there, and that one goes there, and that one goes.
Michelle get a cookout invite, and Reese get him a blind man with no arms. You'll be okay. You worry too much.
Wait a minute. I get a blind man with
no arms. You'll be okay. You worry too much.
Why I gotta get a blind man with no arms?
Then he'll let you like you think, you know, he should. That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah. I don't get that, but now Michelle, you get an invite to the cook. Michelle gonna be at the cookout with me. That's my homie, but I'm gonna teach her how to make the potato salad the right way.
Okay.
Like, girl, don't you put no raisins in the people. I'm a teacher, y'all. I'm a schooler. She liked the men, so I'm gonna get her to understand the culture of being a black woman. Because I asked her. I said, do you ever wish you were a black woman? And she said, yeah, but not for the same reasons that you would think. It's not to go through the struggle. No, she wanted the body. She wanted to have the butt, the titty. She got the titty, but she wants the sexual. I'm like, girl, do you really want black women problems? Do you want? She don't want that.
You got to take the good with the bad, though. You got to take the good with the bad. There is, you know, I laugh because I said, you know, life, love, what is it? Life, love, pain, and fuck are all 4-letter words. You know, is that a coincidence? Because I don't think so. Because you can't be living life if you're not loving, you know.
Well, look, dumb is a 4-letter word too.
But when you are living, there's pain. There's pain because you're dealing with other people. So, I mean, I don't know if we are just walking around with the expectation that we're expecting life to be like a Disney fairy tale, but it's very much not. Pain is what should be appreciated in order to bring around the good.
See, that's why we got to get you out of that box because you said it yourself that you, the only black people you know was the one on TV.
Yes.
And that's how you're viewing us as the black people off of TV. That's not real black people. That's why it's television and Hollywood. That'll be like me saying that the white people that you see on TV is the way white people are in life. And we all know that's not true. So the black people that you see, I got to help you understand. You want to cross over? I'm gonna take you way over. I'm gonna take
Let's
you
go.
over. I'll
ready.
open up and be your friend to tell you. Look,
Even if it's a bumpy ride, honey, I'm ready. I know you're gonna be
bumpy.
gentle.
You good with Reese. You good. You ain't gonna be in Ward 8 or nothing. You good.
We
You
gonna
ain't
come up
be
there
in the
in
rough
Ward
part.
9.
Oh,
She is.
I ain't
gonna be
worried.
in
I
South
ain't
Beach.
worried. I ain't worried. I've been up to Norma Jean's in Baltimore, hanging out
you
at like
hit
1
slick.
o'clock. That's
What's
right.
It ain't gonna work in Southeast.
The squeegee boys will be all over you, Michelle.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'll stay close. I'll stay close, Reese.
You know, and thank you for the shout out for the book. Because Michelle is an owner of this book here, and that's going to give her a little insight of blackness too. This ain't television. This ain't all the fluff. This is the good and the bad that you're not going to see on TV when you open up a book. So she read that. She already oohing and on and gasping, but don't tell the people. She's already like, oh my gosh. She said, oh my gosh. And we're like, this is an everyday thing for us.
Yeah, I was saying, oh my gosh, in like the first couple of chapters of her first book. So, and again, it gives you perspective when you see the adults in front of you, and then you read and hear what they had to go through. It's like, holy God, like that's why I'm like, it's amazing. People who just embrace life and don't let the poop weigh them down, and still walk out there with an open heart, good intentions, want to help people, want to talk to people. That, in my mind, is an amazing person with a good soul.
Well, that's what I try to surround myself with, by good, positive people like your brother Molly and your brother Rico. We all have a story. This is a regular, everyday thing for us, how we deal with adversity on a regular for all of us. And also in the plug, and so, and we still keep going in spite of, you got to surround yourself with the non-toxic people. You got to cut the toxic out, cut the cancer out, for lack of a better word. And that's how we draw on each other's strength. We lean on each other. We are family. We are village. Those are my brothers you looking at. They may be some fine specimen of men auction off, bids starting at 200 and 200. The bid starting off. Can I get 250? Can I get 250? Can I get 250 for 255?
Ain't talking food stamps.
No, EBT cards. We do accept EBT cards.
We got sponsors for that. We got the EBT sponsors and stuff like that.
So we do accept all of that stuff. Because look, we gotta eat. Sexy men gotta eat. They gotta maintain their bodies. Their bodies.
Funny.
The sexiness, Michelle. But I'm glad that you were able to come on. It's been our time. The show went quickly. Hey guys, I'm working on something special for Freaky Friday. Since it's Black Friday, Freaky Friday, I'm trying to get a panel of comedians for the Freaky Friday. All the jokey. So the guys that I talked to last night, they was like, yeah, we come on. And the girls was like, oh yeah, that'll be fun. So I need 3 guys and 3 girls. Michelle already said she's taking one of the female comedian slots. So I need 2 more female. Right. And the 3 guys, I heard the 3 guys that say they would do it, but I need to slot it in to make sure. That sound nasty.
What a way. No pun intended.
And then that's where people can ask questions. And you're going to hear all people, pain, stories. You got to laugh to keep from crying. Can I get an amen?
Amen. Yes, amen.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say before we close out, Michelle?
Happy Thanksgiving, and thank you for having me on. You all are fantastic. I appreciate the love and the openness. And if everybody did enjoy and wants to kind of follow me, I don't know, maybe on Instagram or TikTok, same username. It's Mama, MAMA_drama. Yeah, I know. I hope everybody knows how to spell drama. 525. Again, that's Mama_drama 525. Thank you.
Oh, right.
Thank you. Rico.
Yes. Oh, yes, indeed. As everybody goes out to their different things on this Thursday, keep your keep your spirit up. That's just a man-made holiday. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy yourself like you should be accountable for doing. You are accountable for your own happiness. Know yourself. Enjoy yourself. This has been a great opportunity on the Morning Mac Show. Y'all have a blessed day, blessed weekend, and all that good stuff. Thank you for inviting me on the show.
My brother, Sexy Marley.
Appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll be back here tomorrow. Well, I'm not sure. Reese,
we'll be back here tomorrow because we don't believe in the turkey that I told you.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, you know.
Turkeys.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
Free birds. Yeah. But also tomorrow my father's birthday, so I'm celebrating regardless.
Oh,
yay!
That's a good reason to celebrate.
Yeah. He about to be touching 80, so you know.
Wow, that's a birthday.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't sound like I got a father that old. But great show, ladies, and Rico, Gent. You know, I thought Nene was on here for a minute. You know, but it's good. We'll see Bernice and Nene next time. I know y'all probably looking forward to seeing Lady B. She definitely probably back before Friday, if not for sure Monday.
No, we're right there Monday next week.
But Michelle, great story. Thanks for coming on, being honest as always. It seemed like we was talking to you same way we talked to you off the show. You know, so that ain't normal. You know, normally we talk to people. It's funny when they get on the show, they try to act, you know, and turn a little different, act a little different. So you be yourself all the time on camera, off camera. I respect that.
I respect that too. That's right. That's right. And with that being said, this has been another episode of the Morning Mac Show. Tune in tomorrow for more. We love you.
Peace.